This is a related video for Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Season 2, Episode 23 and 24, and Stardust Crusaders Part 2, Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The reason why I look so confused is because, I don't know, it's, I don't know. It's so confusing the way the whole layout of the episodes are that I genuinely am confused as to like what to call like JoJo's Stardust Crusader Part 2. Um, I have no idea if it's season 2 or if it's considered season 3. I have no idea. The episodes kind of reset at the end of the first Stardust Crusaders, so I'm assuming it's like episode or no, sorry, season 3 of the show. I don't know. I have no clue. So forgive me if I have no idea because I don't. Anyways, click in the description below to go watch my reaction to it, and then come back here to see my full view, my full thoughts, my full theories and ideas, and all the good stuff. So yeah, go check it out, and then go kind of come back here for all that stuff. So yeah, click away now or be spoiled as to what happened in the episodes. So, yeah, so this marks the last big episode batch whatever thing for 5k subs, my 5k sub special week long event kind of thing that I've been doing. Seeing how last week I wasn't able to record, the thing was I recorded last week's JoJo's episode just like normal, and then 2 days later I gained like a ton of subs to the point where it looked like I was going to hit 5k subs. So I started planning for this week, this whole long, like, big sub week, whatever, event week, whatever we call it. And then once I hit it, I started doing, I should say, once I noticed that I was going to get to hit that 5k, I decided just to jump on board and start doing it. So I started recording, like, Hunter x Hunter. That was the first 5k sub thing I did. And then later on, I did Angel Beats and Drifters, and then Suspension Classroom, and then now I'm doing JoJo. So, yeah. So I would have loved to have like this kind of seven episode thing last week to kind of match up, Monday through Friday. But it didn't work out, which is totally fine. Fine. So yeah, so this marks the last one. So big thank you to you guys, all you guys for getting me to 5k subs. And I hope you guys enjoyed these 7 episodes that I did. So yeah, without further ado, so the ending 23 and 24 of Stardust Crusaders Part 1. That was pretty interesting with like a two-parter kind of thing with them in the boat, the Empress or whatever you call it. I think was it a two-parter. I can't remember if it's a two-parter now. I feel like it was a two-parter. Anyways, they're fighting the girls stand underwater. It was too fast. Everything, they can't hit it. They can't do anything in the sub. They try hitting it, but it keeps driving out of the way and like possessing things and trying turning into things to kind of like get the upper hand. So they did, and then they end up beaching, or not breaching. They end up crashing and it's kind of taking on water. Thanks to the stand. I think the stand like drills a hole in the wall and pop out the water kind of thing. So they started flooding. So they had a abandoned ship basically. They got a bunch of gear together, which I kind of did sort of call. I wasn't specific on my call, so I wouldn't call that a success. I don't know. I predicted the girls' stand, was going to possess one of their equipment, and that's why I said equipment or whatever, one of their abilities. At first, in my head, I was thinking their air tanks or whatever like that. I never thought of the air breather. So it wasn't 1-to-1. So I call like have success on I don't know. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so they had to fight the stand inside the little airlock bit before being able to get out. Then they found a cave cave, which turned out to be the Stan's face, huge face in the seabed. Um, and their whole thing was like the Stan can only possess or turn into metals and glass, I think it was. And it turns out the seabed, a lot of materials in there. So the Stand can easily do it, and it's very big as well when it does it. The thing about it too, I was kind of wondering too as well. I never said it in my reaction, but like thinking back at it, the face was at an upward facing angle, right? Like it was facing towards like the surface, and they were sucked into it. And then when they're inside of it, they were standing on the bottom jaw on the inside, but the face was still upward. So like how did they stand on the jaw if it was upward? I don't know. It's just like I was thinking about that too. I was like, how does that work? I don't know. But it was really cool to see Jojo just like wreck house like from the inside. Like he was literally punching diamonds. Like I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Like they were fighting the teeth or whatever, and the girl was saying there's no point because like it's like hard as diamonds, and he was just ripping them like just all throughout it. The thing that I think was sucked about it, the reveal of that, it was cool, but the thing that kind of broke the concentration, I think, or whatever, is when that started to happen, and then you saw at the very top of the episode, it was like kind of like up here kind of thing of the episode, or to you guys, it was like right here or whatever. It was basically saying the oro kind of thing that he's like punching noise whatever. It started subbing that before you can even audibly hear him do it. Like I think like 2 or 3 passes, like you could see it like marked there, and then it went away, and then like everyone did like kind of just said like oh he's dead kind of thing, and then it popped up again I think, and then I couldn't hear it, and then like they're like kind of like perking up like what do you hear that, and then all of a sudden the third one popped up and you can barely hear it, and then it got louder louder kind of thing. Maybe the second one you can hear it too, I don't know. But that did kind of like um that did kind of like not ruin the moment, but it was kind of like it was kind of weird though, like how like they subbed it before you could even audibly hear him doing like the punches and stuff. But it was a cool in the last how like he was like in one of the teeth, and then he like broke out and he started just punching all the teeth kind of thing, which was brutal. But yeah, so they got to the surface after that, and they discovered the girl, and Paul Nareff is the one who because saying like don't come over here, like there's no point in looking at her kind of thing, which I wanted to see it nonetheless. It's kind of weird how like you fight a stand user and you never see the user. It's just kind of like in the background. It happened the same thing with the sun user, the one that had the blazing sun in the desert. We never got to mention or talk to or whatever the stand user for that guy. Also the car driver guy, the car stand one, like early on, the one that can kind of possess the car and make the car do whatever he wants. Or yeah, yeah. And then we only saw like his arm, and then like later on we saw like the end his face or whatever like that. And I guess we might have seen him in the background of some sort. His I don't know. Anyways, so they had like a kind of like a cool send off moment of that when they kind of like looking off to the sunset kind of thing. They had a cool moment in these episodes. I don't remember when it happened. I think it was just after that, or potentially on episode 1. But they had this cool kind of mashup bit where like they kind of went to each place they've been to in the anime. They like they started off here. They fought this guy. They went up. They went here next, and they fought this guy and this guy, and then they went here next, and they fought this guy and this guy. The kind of thing, the roadmap kind of thing of their journey. I thought that was really cool. That was really awesome. But yeah, so we have a new set of villains now, basically. I can't remember if it's 7 or 9. So basically, there's a new set of cards out there that are all based around the Egyptian gods. So the ones we fought were Thoth. What was the other one? It was Thoth, Geb. Geb was the god of the earth. Thoth was god of knowledge. What was his brother? Crap. His brother was that really weird one that I never learned about. I can't remember what his name was. I can't remember. Um, then we had Anubis, of course, the good old Anubis. So he's like at the bottom of the Nile right now, like getting rusty and everything. That was a cool episode. Um, I liked that episode a lot because it was like he was actually spending it right as he was like flying away or whatever. But apparently his master, the creator of Anubis, um, crafted. He was a blacksmith long ago, and he crafted Anubis's sword or whatever, and I guess was a stand user as well. And then the blacksmith died off, but Anubis was still a thing because I guess he's solid and he's like an actual item and not just like energy kind of thing. Like like a Star Platinum. He's just like an energy being kind of thing. He only can be summoned if Jojo does it kind of thing. But it seems like if you embed it into like an armor weapon or whatever kind of thing, they're like internal or immortal. One of those. um, so it's really interesting to see that with Anubis and everything. I would have liked more kind of things because like Anubis, I don't think ever used swords. Did he? I don't know. I think it's just strange that they picked a samurai sword for depicting a depiction of Anubis. I know they showed Anubis. They were with the dog head and all like beefed out and everything, but they never did anything beyond that. It's just like it was just him as Anubis in a samurai sword, which is very strange. I don't know. I just think it was kind of strange that they put Anubis in a sword and then called it that kind of thing. But the power was cool. How like he can kind of just control people by the looking at the blade or whatever, and then they get possessed or whatever. I would love to see other gods that I know about. Like for example, like when I first saw Geb in the show, um, I didn't realize, or I remember reading about Geb in like Smite, like the game Smite, which is like this god battleground kind of MOBA like game. If you ever played the game, I remember Geb from there. I never clicked on the show being that's who they were talking about, like Geb as the god Geb. Um, I think it was Geb, right? I can't remember. But when they said when they had Anubis as the one, then it like really clicked in. Well, I guess more so, it wasn't just Anubis. It was Thoth. When Thoth came in, that was like I guess mostly when it clicked the most. When I was like, oh yeah, there are full on gods. Like all of them are like having gods, or whatever. So the ones I would like the most is like, of course, Apophis, the snake god, basically, the snake god, god of war, and something else, just something else. I can't remember what the last thing is, but yeah, it's this god of snakes and the god of war. Apophis was and if you ever watched the TV show Stargate SG-1 or Stargate Atlantis or whatever, they had like Apophis there and the snake god guys with like their metal heads, whatever. Those were awesome. I loved those a lot. But yeah, I would love to see like other gods too. Like I was mentioning in my reaction, how I liked Isis a lot and Ra as well. But there's other gods that I liked a lot that I actually put up a list over here in my second monitor of all the gods. Like there's like Onhor, which is like well in Smite he's like more of a lion god kind of thing. Um, Bastet, which is the cat goddess, or Best, one of those, and um, Horus. There's a couple other ones. Where's that? Where's the I'm trying to think of like or find the big name ones that everyone can kind of click to. Raw and Set. That's the one. Set. Um, and Widget. I like Widget a lot. Or no, Wadget, Wad, Wadjet. Can't remember how to pronounce her name. Um, but she's the goddess of production, by the way. But yeah, so I would love to see all these gods in here. But mostly, I think the cool thing would be if I can actually they have to actually see Horus as a god. Horus is awesome. Horus is the god of war, sky, and falcons. Um, he's the brother of Anubis and the son of Osiris and Iris. If you're into like the Egyptian lore and everything, um, he's cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the other gods are. There's a lot of gods, and I'm wondering which one they're gonna be picking. I'm trying to read through this list to see if one of them is the one that the brother of Thoth, his brother. Which one? Crap, I can't remember which one his brother was. I don't see it in this list at all. Oh, I guess it could be in this list. I just don't remember the name. So none of these names are clicking in to what he might have been. Um, but regardless, I would love to see more like these kind of big names that I know about, kind of be the gods of the cards kind of thing, you know. So like, Anubis was awesome. But like I said, it's very strange to see Anubis stuck in a samurai sword. Um, although his power is really awesome, eh, it's strange. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be really cool to see what else they have there. But yeah, Geb was awesome. Um, his like whole sticking the staff in the ground and like putting it to his, I think it was his ear or like his cheek or whatever, maybe both, and like listening in or feeling the vibrations of like the sand, um, and like listening for all the noise from like all over and everything. You would think at some point he'd potentially hear other things that are unwanted, like a little like lizard or snake or something like that, like slithering across the sand or whatever like that, and like him kind of clicking on that and being like, "Is that them?" kind of thing, or like a little mouse or a bird or something like that. But the way they dealt with them was pretty interesting. And Iggy, freaking Iggy. Iggy is like the new addition to the Jojo team, which I don't know. At first, the whole farting thing was, I mean, interesting or funny or whatever you call it. But like after like the second time, I was like, I'm already done with this. Like done with the farting thing. He kept doing it over and over and over again. Um, but yeah. What else happened in the episodes? They kind of all blurred together. Since I watched like all of them at once, like it's kind of hard to pinpoint what happened in which episode. But I loved the two brother episode where they had the Thoth book, the book of the God of Knowledge, um, uh, like kind of predicting what might happen in like the near future, and then them trying to like do that and everything. I totally called the Jotaro's head splitting be the actual brother and not Jotaro himself. And then I loved how they realized that was gonna happen, and they were like, "We have to do something else." He has it. I love that a lot. Um, but like even the brother was like, everything in this book will always happen, and they're trying to change it, and then like it's kind of contradicting like what the younger brother was saying. Um, but I did like the art style of the book and everything. It was very strange and weird and crazy, but I did like that kind of idea of them like even the after credit scene of that. I think that was episode 3, when the ending was kind of like an addition to that episode. That was pretty awesome. I like that a lot. It was kind of like a funny kind of twisting to it. Um, but yeah, it's pretty strange and wacky ability. I'm wondering if they're going to come back later on and deal with the group as well or something like that. I don't know. Um, but yeah. Wow, what has happened? Jeez. Um, I guess the Anubis was a two-parter. I believe. Geb was a two-parter as well, I think. Was Geb a two-parter? I think Geb was a two-parter, and then I think episode 1 and 2 was a two-parter for Geb. Episode 3 might have been, or not might have been, it is the two brothers, and then I think 4 and 5 were Anubis. I could be wrong. Like I said, they all kind of blend together in terms of like, you know, what happens on each. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was a good group of episodes. Like I said, above all, I want Apophis as a god, and have something to do with snakes. Or war, or you know, whatever what is his other thing? Hold on, let me look at his thing. I forgot. I haven't have him on this list. Apophis, god of snakes and war and chaos. That's the one, chaos as well. Yeah, the Egyptian mythos is always like really awesome to read up and everything. The pantheon of gods. So yeah, let me know down below what you guys thought of these episodes and everything. And of course, no spoilers. Please no spoilers. Don't confirm nor deny any of my theories as to who might show up next, or who's left, or how many are there, or you know, who my favorites, if they are going to be there. Don't mention it. Don't do anything, because if you confirm it, then it's a spoiler. If you deny it, it's a spoiler. Because like if for example, if I'm hoping for Apophis and I'm like, yeah, I want Apophis to happen, and then someone in the comments is like, no, Apophis isn't one of them. It's like, ugh. Like let me explore that and let me find out if it's true or not. That's what I am here for. So yeah, please no spoilers or whatnot, whatever. I'll have my mods and High Elder try in the comments, filtering out spoilers and stuff like that. So don't spoil. Don't be a meanie pants. And yeah, if you want me to talk to you in the comments below, do not spoil. If like I said, just let me know what you guys thought of these episodes. What you thought of Anubis and everything, and like maybe his his potential. I guess I just find it weird that did I say Apophis? Anubis' sword. I just feel like Anubis' sword was kind of underused and strange in the least. Like it does not fit the god at all. Does it? Oh, I'm gonna read this thing over here. Where's Anubis? Anubis, god of dead, embalming, funerals, mourning ceremonies, jackalhead god. Yeah, that doesn't say anything about samurai swords or controlling people. Maybe the dead, but he never mentioned anything about like he himself is immortal, but like none of his like people he controls are immortal. I don't know. I just expect him, like when I see or hear about Anubis, I always think about like the game Smite, where like Anubis is kind of like this god of the dead and like can like rise like zombies out of the ground and like, you know, all this like badass like, you know, necromancy crap. So whenever I hear about Anubis and like he's not that image, I'm like strange about it. But yeah, you know what you guys thought about these episodes. And next week we'll be doing 4 episodes, going back to normal like 3 to 4 episodes a week kind of thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this week-long event that I had together. I'll also be putting out an update video kind of explaining my my thoughts and everything about that too, so look out for that if you're into that kind of thing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week for some more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Take care, everybody.